Good morning, everyone. My name's Lauren. I am the indie dyer and maker behind Lolodidit, and I'm coming to you from my house today. Yes, my house is not full of, well, it's full of yarn. Let's not be. But it's not completely full of yarn. We recently moved to a warehouse, and for those of you who are new to the podcast, we hand dye yarn. That's our main business, me, my husband, and a few other people. And we hand dye yarn, and up until late January, the entire business was in my house. So I've recently taken over, this was the shipping room. This is where we shipped everything. And I took it over and made it my craft room because why the heck not, right? I've got all this extra space, so I took it over. So I wanted to come to you guys today. This is Easter weekend, so we decided to take Friday off of dyeing. Obviously, I'm still podcasting, but since I'm at home, I'm actually still in my slippers. I'm in one of my comfy tops, so this is a little bit more of a casual environment. This room is open. It's actually, I think this is supposed to be the dining room of this house. I'm not sure, but if you hear stuff, my dogs are running around upstairs, my husband's here, you know, that's so if you hear stuff, that's what's going on. It's not a closed room. I don't even have a door. But I hope you enjoy this anyways, this beautiful weekend. It's such gorgeous weather in Las Vegas. It's been raining here, which is really weird. But it's been raining a lot lately and lots of wind and dust storms, so I'm really thankful for the weather today. I hope we get out and do something fun. But I wanted to podcast and talk to you guys a little today because I had an opportunity. So first thing is everybody was talking about Yeti Goes to Hogwarts, which is our new series that's come out, similar to Hippos, but Yeti is going to all of those fantastical places that inspire us from movies and TV shows and books. This is the first one. This is Yeti Goes to Hogwarts. And Yeti here, I don't have a name for him yet, but he is freaking adorable. So I wrote up this pattern a long time ago, probably, I don't know, well over 6 months ago. And it was before Christmas, I know. And my husband said, he's like, that doesn't look like a Yeti. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I showed it on the podcast last time because it shows Yeti Goes to Hogwarts knit up, so I wanted to show it to you guys. But everybody seemed to like him, so I'm going to write up this pattern. So I wanted to tell you guys that. Thank you for the encouragement, and I'm glad you guys like him. I've got to find where I wrote it down. Of course, I hand wrote it in one of my numerous notebooks, and I've got to go find it, but he's really cute. So I'll be writing that up probably in the next few months. My main job is dyeing yarn. I do design patterns, but it's more of because people ask me, it's more of a reason because people ask me questions about things, or they're like, how do you do this? Or how do you knit this? Things like that. So I usually, in answer to, if I get so many questions, I usually do a pattern. So that's kind of where my designing comes from. So I'm never in a rush with patterns. I don't do that as a main thing. It's more of when enough people ask me a question, then I design a pattern. So I think that it'll probably come out in a few months. I'm not in a rush. The other thing, speaking of patterns, is people have been asking me about my sock patterns. I have a circular sock machine that I knit the majority of my socks, and I still hand knit socks, and I definitely hand knit socks when we go to the movies and things like that, because it's the easiest thing to just go around and around and around. And I really enjoy knitting while I'm in the movie theater. But most of the time I am using my circular sock machine. I got it back in August, and I love it. It's a Ligare 400. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I think I am. It's an antique model. It didn't have all the bells and whistles that a lot of the newer models have, so over the months I've been upgrading different features and getting new parts and things like that. But people ask me all the time what my sock pattern is, so what I'm shooting for, I've been working on the sock pattern for a while. The heel kind of threw me for a loop, and I have had several test knitters knit this, and including some of my friends, that I was like, please just knit up the heel. So that one I believe will be coming out on the second week of April. So I'll give you guys more details as the time gets closer, and I have a date nailed down, but that's the plan. So I'll show you 2 pairs of socks that I recently knit. This is, oh my gosh, this is Yum Yum is the main color, and Wonka are the heels and toes. It is fantastic. I love bright colors. I love neons. I can't help myself. This is part of a series that I started last June, I believe it is. Last June for Father's Day. My dad really likes this specific brewery company called Three Floyds, and it's up in Northwest Indiana, which is where I grew up. And they have the coolest artwork on all of their beer. And he sent me a picture one day, and he's like, this totally needs to be a colorway. And I was like, okay. So I did it for Father's Day last year. And then all of you guys who are in Northwest Indiana, or if you're like microbrewery fans, a bunch of people have been asking me about Three Floyds colorways. So I came out with Yum Yum a few months later, which I love. And this is my first time I knit it up. I don't know what took me so long. And then we'll have a new one coming out in a few weeks that is in the same series. So if you guys are fans of the series, or fans of Three Floyds or microbreweries or anything like that, then keep an eye out because that's coming soon. But anyways, really cute socks. Again, I'll be coming out with a pattern in a couple weeks, finally. And hopefully you guys like that. The second pair of socks is, this is, look at how pretty that is. This is Dobby Socks. That's the main color. And this is Yeti Goes to Hogwarts, which is the same, it's the same skein as this little guy. And these I made shorty socks. So funny story about this. I worked my butt off. No, I'm gonna make my sister feel really guilty. No, I knit up a whole bunch of socks, Harry Potter socks, for my sister, because she's a huge fan. She's a bigger fan than I am. She's one of those. And for Christmas. And I give them to her for Christmas. She's like, Lauren, I live in Florida. I want short socks. And I was like, okay, well, good thing we're the same size feet. So I took back all of the socks that I gave her. And I started knitting short socks. So when I come out with the pattern, I will include the length that I did these ankle socks, but really it's really easy just to adapt it to whatever length that you want. But super cute. I love these. I even had to do my Harry Potter sock blockers. These are Dobby Socks, Yeti Goes to Hogwarts, because I had to, and I love them. So I hope she does too. I think she realized when I posted them on Instagram they're for her, because she's like, huh, shorty socks. So I'll send these to her. I always have like a box going for her, and of course I ship it like way late. I am so bad at dates and birthdays and things. It's crazy. So I also have a new yarn base that I just put on the shop. This is, yes, it's that beautiful. I can't. This is Whole Lotta DK. Thank you guys for voting and picking the name that you wanted. I was Team Chubby Baby at work. That's what the name that I wanted, but everybody was overruling me, so I'm like, fine, let's have Instagram decide. Well, obviously, I got overruled. So this is Whole Lotta DK. This is so, I mean, guys, it is so soft. I love this yarn. It is non-superwash. So I've been knitting a lot of sweaters. Well, I say a lot. I've been knitting 1.5 sweaters lately, and I've decided that I'm a sweater knitter. That is the project that as soon as I finish one, I'm gonna cast on the other one, because I feel so accomplished. I really love knitting sweaters and something I can wear every day. The socks that I wear, now I love socks, don't get me wrong, but no one gets to see them. And it makes me sad that they're in my shoes and I know they're there, but no one else gets to see them. So now I've got sweaters that I'm knitting and I love it. So I'll talk a little bit more about my current project. But since I'm officially a sweater knitter, I decided we needed a non-superwash sweater base on the shop. And this is, I tested quite a few non-superwash bases to see what I liked and what I didn't like, and I wanted the perfect texture. I wanted it to be really soft, but also have a nice sheen to it so that when you're wearing it, it looks really nice on you. And I decided on this one. So this is non-superwash DK. These are 250 gram skeins. So that's 2.5 skeins of yarn, which is amazing because you don't have to weave it as many ends. And I do like the fact that I've only got 2 balls of yarn in my bag, because the last sweater I knit, I had 5 balls of yarn in my bag, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy, as I was carrying it around with me and knitting through it. So that's amazing. This, speaking of amazing, this colorway is Amazed, and it takes the dye similar, if you guys are fans of my Lolo's favorite base, which is my merino cashmere nylon, this takes the dye similar to that. It's a little bit lighter than the everyday sock base, or L'Original, which not a lot of people have L'Original because it's not even released yet, but I did put it up on Tonals Barely There. But this is a little bit lighter than the brightness of the color, but the tonality of it is just fantastic. So I think you guys will really love this. This is a Polworth wool, which is a cross between, oh gosh, you guys are gonna test me. I believe it's 75% merino and 25% Lincoln, that those 2 breeds of sheep were crossed. So it is really soft like merino, but just has that slight rusticness. And then of course the silk in here, it's 15% silk, 85% Polworth. The silk in here is amazing. So it's got a really nice texture, and then while you're knitting it, it doesn't feel rough or anything like that. So I think that you guys will really, really enjoy this. At least I hope you do. This is available in my sweater quantity section, which if you click on my website and go to shop yarn, that section's all the way at the bottom. You can get this yarn base. They are, so somebody asked a question, they are dyed, I use very small pots. I am truly a small batch dyer. So only 2 of these fit in a pot. So they're only dyed 2 at a time. So if you are purchasing more than 2, you definitely want to make sure that you alternate skeins. But these are available on that sweater quantity section. So first listing that you see. The rest of the listings are for any of my 100, 150 gram bases. So if you guys are looking at that, so. But this is my 250 gram base, so you guys will love it. I wish I had brought all the colors, but there are photos on Instagram and also within that listing of different tonal colors. I don't have a ton of them dyed up. So as I dye more, as people ask me for colors, I will continue adding the colorways to that listing to show it off. And then I've been putting the name of the color in the bottom right-hand corner. I think it's bottom left-hand corner of the photos. So if you have questions, but it's pretty cool. And our turnaround time on dye to order is 14 business days right now. So, and actually it's been that way for probably over a year on dye to order, 14 business days, which is about 2.5 weeks, but literally we dye things when you order them, either the next day or the day after, and then as soon as they're dry, we pack them up and ship them out to you. So that's kind of how it works. It just depends on the weather here, whether the weather is cooperating with us on dry time. So that's awesome. I've already had several people get this, and we're already dyeing it up. one of them that I recall right off the top of my head was a Princess Peach. Oh my gosh, so pretty. It's not dry yet, so I haven't taken a picture yet, but it's really, really pretty. You guys will love it. Other things that are going on the shop. We have a whole bunch of colorways over the past week that have been restocked. So I'll show those real quick. This is Once Upon a Time, and this is on my Solo base. And this is Once Upon a Time on my Baby Got Yak base. So that's available. This was actually a long time ago. A customer emailed me and they're like, I need a colorway for Once Upon a Time. And I was like, okay, no problem. So she sent me a whole bunch of pictures and this is what the result was. I think it's really pretty. I love yellows with purple. It's a really nice springtime color. This is Dirty Dancing. And this is from the 80s movie, of course. And it's got all the colors from Dirty Dancing, I think anyways. Like Baby, you know, the lake scene. And then you've got the stodgy people that I thought that mauve looked pretty. So anyways, it really was inspired by the movie. I watched it right before I dyed it. I needed an excuse to watch Dirty Dancing, guys. And this is Vertigo. And this is, you guys, I can never keep this one in stock. It's really, really hard because you guys love this colorway, the mint green with all of the pinks and purples and all that. So that's back on the shop. And this was actually featured in a collaboration I did with Jen Peck, who is Webster Street Knittery. She did the Lolo's mixtape pattern. It's a shawl. So for those of you who are asking, when is Vertigo gonna come back so that I can knit that shawl, it's here. And I just restocked Freakin' Weekend as well last week. So all the colorways that she used in her sample are up on the shop. Killer Bees. This is the Steelers colorway. Just restocked that. This is the Dowager Countess, which is Downton Abbey inspired, of course. And this is on my Solo base. Really pretty. And, oh, I totally forgot. I also do this colorway on Baby Got Yak. It is really pretty. It's not showing up as well here on the video, but you can definitely tell the purples and mauves and greens and blues and all that. You can definitely see it. It's just on a darker base. It's really, really pretty. And I love knitting with Baby Got Yak. It's super soft. It's like a cashmere silk blend. That's what it feels like. Yak is very cashmere-like, or, you know, it's really pretty. All right, let's see. Harley. This is a Mr. Lolo original. That was just restocked, and then I also restocked it on Baby Got Yak as well. Love it. And then LA Lady, I have not dyed this, I don't think, since last fall. It's been a while. So I dyed this up again. LA Lady, which is Elton John inspired. And then this is it on Baby Got Yak. I can't get over that. Look at. So pretty. So this is LA Lady. Then I had two new colorways come out this week. The first one is, of course, Negan inspired. If you have not seen the clip for this was 2 episodes ago. Just Google Negan, "You Look Beautiful, Baby," and it'll pop up. There's an 11-second clip, and you won't lose anything out of the series. It's not, there's no spoilers or anything, but he says this to Lucille, like she's his girlfriend, and she's sitting in the car, and he's like, "You look beautiful, baby." Oh my God, me and Trey died when we saw that. We're like, this is a colorway, oh my gosh, and I wrote it down real fast. And so, of course, so this is only 2 episodes ago, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, we have to dye this right now. So this is the colorway, because Lucille looks beautiful. and it is fantastic. I love this. This is on the Dreamy base, which is my merino cashmere silk, and it is just, I love it. So you guys obviously loved it too. I did sell out on quite a few yarn bases, so check the listing and see what's available. I know I definitely have it on Dreamy, Everyday. I'm pretty sure I'm sold out on Solo and DK, but I don't remember. But yeah, go check it out because this is fantastic. And then the other one is Jane Eyre. This one came out last night. So You Look Beautiful Baby came out on Tuesday, I think. And then this one was last night. Absolutely gorgeous. So the story behind this is last year, Jill and Sarah, so Jill of the Knitting Broomstick podcast and Sarah of Love Sock Wool podcast. I love watching them. They're so, so sweet. And they're just sweet people. Like, I've gotten to know them. You know, we message sometimes. We're all 3 book lovers, so I just love talking to them. So they were having a Bronte along sometime last year. I can't remember what date it was, but literally during that knit along, I downloaded Jane Eyre because I was like, I've got to read. I don't know how I haven't read this yet, and they're talking about it like it is the greatest book. Like, they reread it all the time, and I'm like, okay, I guess I've got to try the Bronte sisters. So I started reading it, and I got so immersed. This was back in December, like Thanksgiving-ish December time period. I got so immersed in the story because usually while I'm dyeing yarn, I'm listening to an audiobook. And at the end of every chapter, I would come out from dyeing, and I would talk to the several women who work with me, and I'd start, they're not book readers, and I don't know why they're not book readers. I don't know how they work with me and not be book readers. But I was like, okay, guys, you would not believe what just happened in this book. So I started relaying the entire story. Each chapter I'd finish, and I'd tell them the story. And so by like halfway through it, I'd stop dyeing, and they'd be like, Lauren, what happened next? I'm like, oh my gosh. So we read it together. It was just really, really fun. So since that moment of them loving the story and just dying over the characters, and it was just such a beautiful thing. And I'm so glad I got to read a book with them. So since then, they're like, we need to do a colorway that is Jane Eyre inspired. So we've been like kind of waiting for the right thing to come out of the dye pots. And as soon as we saw this, all of us were like, Jane Eyre! So that is, I just think that that's so cool. I love it. And of course, Jill and Sarah messaged me this morning. They're like, oh my gosh! So, which is really, really, really sweet. So, ladies, you inspired me. I'm so thankful. And everybody here at Lolodidit loves it as well. Well, except for Mr. Lolo. He didn't read the book. He thought I was crazy when I was relaying the story. He's like, why don't they just read it? I'm like, they don't like reading. I'm telling them the story. But it was kind of like it feels like it's got so much drama in it. If you guys haven't read the book, please go read the book, because I'm talking to you like I'm a crazy person. But it's such a beautiful story. I think you'll like it. So Jane Eyre is up on the shelf now. And I thought it was really great that I specifically wanted it to come out for Easter weekend, because I thought it was just the perfect color for springtime and Easter, but also it's that time of year that I think that I feel, because me and Jane, you know, we're besties, I feel Jane would really like this time of year. So anyways, that's why I purposefully had this release on this weekend. So I hope you guys love it. So last but not least, we have a knit along going on, And I got a comment. I don't know where I saw the comment because, of course, when I went to go respond, I don't know where it was. You guys, I've got so many people talking to me on Instagram and YouTube and messages, Instagram messages, that sometimes it gets lost in the shuffle. If you guys ever actually need a question answered, email me because I'm really good at email. But sometimes I see it pop up on my phone, I glance at it, I don't have a moment to respond, and then I go back and look for it and I can't find it. So somebody asked me if my knit-alongs were for crochet too. It's really, I shouldn't even say knit-alongs. For the majority of things, they're make-alongs. The hashtag lolodidit one, anybody who's using my yarn, and it doesn't even have to be an FO, I'll choose things from that. The hippos, you don't have to knit everything. You can crochet it, you can weave it, as long as it's using the hippo yarn, you can do that. What other one do I have going on? Oh, the Ravelry, the FO thread in Ravelry. It's any lolodidit yarn and any type of FO, which is finished object. My mom asked me that the other day. She's like, Lauren, what's a whip and what's an FO? And I was like, oh yeah, maybe I should actually say the words. So that thread in Ravelry is basically a make-along. So this is truly the only thing that I have going on, this current knit-along that I'm going to show you. It's the only one that's going on that's specifically knit, and it's a specific pattern that's happening right now. So just to answer you guys' questions, I love all crafts. This may be my yarn section, but the section over here is all fabric. So I am definitely a maker at heart. And I know you guys are too. The majority of you guys don't just do one craft. We're just crafty people. So don't limit yourself to just knitting if you don't want to. You can do any type of fiber-related craft for the majority of my make-alongs and have fun with it. So I will pick from any type of thing that you make. So anyways, getting back to the actual knit-along that we have going on. So me and my friend Erica, we knit the last cardigan that I knit was the Stillwater cardigan by Marie Green, who, by the way, I believe she's in the last, I'm not positive, I believe she is in the last section for the Mason-Dixon March Madness, where you can vote for your favorite sweater patterns. There's shawl patterns, there's all sorts of stuff. And regardless of whoever the winner is, I have really enjoyed going through all of the items that have been nominated. I've definitely found a lot of inspiration from them. So go check the Mason-Dixon Knitting on Instagram. I'll put the Instagram link below because I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. So go check it out. But that was the last cardigan Eric and I did together, and so this one, we both wanted to cast on another sweater right away, and she found the Timely cardigan by Truly Myrtle, who is Libby Johnson, and we started knitting this a few weeks ago, and when I started it, I posted on Instagram like, hey, if anybody wants to join this totally like casual if you guys want to join with 100% lolodidit yarn, I'll put you in a prize pool. And I actually got quite a few people saying they wanted to join, so now this is official. We have it going on. So it's from now or whenever you cast on. Whips are totally included. Like I said, it's super casual. And it goes until June 18th, and on June 18th through sometime in June, I'll pick a winner. I'm never good at doing it right on the day, but I do always pick winners. So I'll pick a winner of the Timely cardigan cal. So if you want to join in, you have plenty of time to get some yarn and start your project. I'm really not very far, but June 18th is when the ending is. So anyway, so I wanted to show this to you. I am using colorways. This is Gamut, which is one of my newer colorways. I think it came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Not very old at all. But as soon as this was dyed and it came out of the dye pots, I'm like, Timely cardigan. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And I paired it with golden. So these are really, really pretty together. And this is how far I am. And last night I actually, so I wasn't that far, but last night I did a lot of rows. I Googled speed knitting, and so I was practicing speed knitting on my sweater last night, and I actually got pretty far. I think some of those tips are really good. You know, less movement of my hands. The smaller my movements are, the faster I can go. So I'm really, really having fun learning a new skill, because I'm like, I want to get this done. I want to wear it. So this is what it looks like. Let me get it up close for you guys. So again, Wiz and Gamut and Golden, Golden is from my Barely There collection. So it's got very, very light speckles in it of gold and a kind of greenish hues and then browns. It is gorgeous. I think this is my favorite Barely There, because every time I'm like, I want to pair blah, blah, blah with Golden. And I'm knitting this on my Dreamy base. I decided, you know, I was thinking I was going to do, you know, any of my other bases. And then I was like, you know what? I'm probably going to wear this a lot, and I really just want to treat myself. It is really nice to knit up. And because it's on fingering weight instead of a whole sweater, because it's so many yards, it's not actually a huge yarn commitment. So that's what I decided to go with Dreamy, and I love it. So I'm ready to roll with this. So that's about it. I don't have anything else for you guys, but oh, sorry, I bumped the table. I am so thankful for you guys coming and visiting with me today and seeing what's going on in the shop and listening to my silly stories and everything that's going on. But I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend. I hope it's beautiful weather for you guys, just like it changed here in Las Vegas. And I hope you have a wonderful time with your families, and I'll see you guys again next week. Thank you so much.